Hello, I'm Carole Bingley. I'm Technical Specialist at Reading Scientific Services Limited, and today I'm going to talk to you about developing and formulating products with different dietary fibres. So when most of us think about fibre, we think about the brands and the wholemeal flours that are used to develop the sorts of products that we can see on the screen. But in fact, there are a huge range of different fibres available for formulating products. So these can include things like chicory root fibre, fibre from wood pulps, fruit and vegetables, pulses, oats, and many other ingredients. Fibres are highly functional ingredients and they're added into foods for a number of different reasons. So one reason would be to fortify a food product, to be able to make a claim on the front of pack. Another reason would be to develop a product which can modify the gut microbiota. And also, fibres are used in products where we're looking to reduce the sugar and fat content. And then finally, fibres can be used to provide texture or improve stability of products over shelf life. Starting with fortification, this is usually done to boost the fibre content of a food product. It's well known that many people don't have enough dietary fibre in their diets, and therefore by eating fortified products, it gives them a way to boost that fibre intake. So products such as breakfast cereals and bakery are well established in this area, but we're also seeing products, more on-the-go products such as cereal bars, snacks, and smoothies now being launched with fibre contents. And to be able to make a claim on the front of pack, you need to meet the levels which have been laid out and for Europe, that would be 3 grams of fibre per 100 grams in a source of fibre claim, or 6 grams per 100 grams for high in fibre claim. And these are fairly high levels of fibre. So you need to choose your fibres carefully depending on the food matrix you're working with. Some fibres, such as wheat fibre, oat fibre, or psyllium, tend to absorb a lot of water. So they can be difficult to process by thickening the product or making them a dough very dry and crumbly, for example. So in these cases, you may need to look at blending different fibres or adding the fibre in a different format, for example, in an extruded crispy, or maybe modifying the processing regime to be able to include the fibre without impacting on the final product. Because the most important thing is to have a palatable, acceptable product that the consumer will want to buy. Moving on to gut health, this is fairly closely linked with fortification, but the types of fibres you here tend to be the prebiotic soluble fibres. So things like inulin, galacto-oligosaccharides, and beta-glucans. There's a natural fit between prebiotic fibres and fermented dairy products due to the probiotic bacteria used in these products. So we often see those used in combination. Sometimes breakfast cereals are now having soluble fibres added. So to add to the bran type ingredients or oat ingredients that are traditionally used, they're now broadening the range of fibres in those products to be able to make a prebiotic statement on pack. And then finally, infant formula is another area where prebiotic fibres are used widely. Prebiotic fibres are found naturally in breast milk, and therefore they are added into the infant formula to try and mimic some of the effects of the fibres for the growing child. One of the considerations with using these soluble fibres is that they are selectively fermented in the gut, and this is beneficial in general, but it does also cause some gas production. So consumption of high levels of the soluble prebiotic fibres can lead to discomfort and in some cases laxation at very high levels. The soluble fibres are also widely used in sugar and fat replacement. Over the last few years, we've seen a number of confectionery, bakery, and cereal bar products launched onto the market using these types of fibres, primarily to replace the sugar in these products, because these fibres can provide some of the bulking effects similar to sugars. We're also seeing low-fat products such as dairy products being used. The fibres are then used to provide the mouthfeel and creaminess that you lose when you take fat out of these products. And sometimes they're combined with other viscosifying fibres such as the guar gums or pectin. The soluble fibres tend to have low or no sweetness, so this is a consideration when developing reduced sugar products with these ingredients because the overall sweetness will probably be lower than the reference product. However, this may still be acceptable to a consumer as they expect a lower sweetness intensity. As with the with gut health products, you need to also consider the tolerance of these fibres because they are fermented in the gut and may lead to discomfort if overconsumed. And then finally, moving on to the functional properties of fibres. So there's a huge range of functional fibres which can viscosify, gel, and improve the stability of products. For example, they're used in meat alternatives to help bind the ingredients and prevent the product from breaking up on cooking, in beverages to provide mouthfeel and stability over shelf life, and in baked goods, and particularly gluten-free baked goods where psyllium and xanthan, for example, are used to replicate the effects of the gluten in those products. Something to consider here is really the huge range of fibres that's available and selecting the right fibre for the product that you're working on. And working with your ingredient supplier can help here. You'll need to be able to give them information such as the pH, the solids content, how the product will be processed, and that will help them to guide you to using the right fibre. The other consideration is labelling. Some of these ingredients are additives and may not be considered to be label friendly by consumers. So that may also impact on your choice of fibre. So thank you for listening to me today. I hope that's given you an introduction to the fibres that can be used for food formulation. And my contact details are on the slide, so please get in touch and feel free to link with me on LinkedIn. Thank you.